The morning sun painted the forest in gold as the wind whispered secrets through the ancient trees. Walking alone, I found myself drawn to the rhythmic melody of distant birdsongs. Beneath my feet, the earth felt alive, carrying the weight of untold stories. A clearing revealed itself, serene and untouched, as if waiting for someone to recognize its sacredness. In the center, sitting cross-legged, was a man whose presence defied all measures of time. His robe shimmered gently as if woven from the threads of the universe itself. I approached, hesitant yet compelled, feeling a gravity in his gaze that anchored my wandering thoughts. "Why have you come?" he asked, his voice resonating like a temple bell awakening dormant truths. Struggling to form words, I paused, searching within the silence that enveloped us. "I seek answers," I replied, my voice fragile against the vastness of the moment. He nodded, as if expecting my confession, as if every seeker carried the same longing. "The answers you seek already reside within you," he said, his words settling like leaves upon the forest floor. He gestured to the trees surrounding us, their roots intertwined beneath the soil, invisible yet vital to all life. "Observe the trees," he said softly. "Each stands alone but draws strength from the unseen connections beneath." His gaze held a wisdom that reached beyond the dimensions of thought. His presence demanded an understanding deeper than the language of words. Yet his simplicity made the profound feel attainable. "Does the tree ask why it grows?" he inquired, his tone filled with curiosity that mirrored my own. I hesitated, pondering the question's depth and its implications. "No," I answered, realizing the folly of questioning the inevitabilities that unfold around us. He smiled, his expression radiating an acceptance that seemed otherworldly yet familiar. To live with purpose is to accept life's flow without resistance, without the ego's demand for explanation. The breeze carried his voice to my ears as though the universe itself collaborated in his teaching. Purpose is not discovered in external pursuits but cultivated within the silence of existence. He paused, allowing the stillness to echo through the forest as though it were a part of the lesson. "What then? Is silence?" I asked, daring to question the master's words. His eyes softened, gazing beyond me to horizons unknown, where answers seemed to dwell. "Silence," he said gently, "is the space where truth emerges, uninterrupted by the noise of worldly desires, in the quiet of his presence." I felt my questions dissolve, replaced by an unexpected clarity. To embrace silence is to embrace yourself. Unfiltered by the illusions of society, he continued, his voice drawing me closer to an unfamiliar freedom. His words wove through my thoughts, illuminating corners I had neglected. "You feel disconnected, yet your disconnection is born from seeking outside rather than within," he explained, each syllable arriving like raindrops upon parched soil. "Sit beneath the tree, feel its essence, and tell me, do you still feel alone?" I obeyed, sensing an ineffable change within the act of surrender. The ground beneath me felt like an extension of my being, as if every element shared in the symphony of existence. Time vanished, replaced by the eternal rhythm of breaths unbound by distractions. "Silence is the teacher that speaks when the student is ready to hear," he said, his voice distant yet near. I opened my eyes to find him gazing at me, his face holding the stillness of the universe. "Have you found what you were looking for?" he asked, though I knew he understood my answer. "Not answers," I replied, "but peace, an understanding deeper than thought." He smiled, a gesture that felt like an embrace, and rose gracefully as though carried by the air itself. "Your journey has begun, and the path is yours to walk," he said, his form fading gently into the sunlight. The forest held me in its arms as I sat, pondering his words. The world around me seemed transformed, alive yet tranquil, as if it mirrored the changes within my soul. I sat for hours, letting the silence speak, listening to truths hidden in its vast embrace. The wind stirred, carrying fragments of his wisdom to guide me through the unfolding chapters of life. In the absence of his physical form, his presence remained, etched into the very fabric of the forest. I closed my eyes, allowing the moment to envelop me, realizing that the answers I sought had always existed in the silence. Another day. Another journey into the heart of the forest, where mysteries seemed to breathe with the rhythm of life. The morning light filtered through the canopy, painting patterns of gold and green on the soft, earthen path. The whispering wind carried with it the faint scent of blossoms and the echo of unseen creatures. I wandered deeper, feeling the world around me open as though it wished to share its hidden treasures. In a glade surrounded by ancient oaks, I found him once more, seated as if he had never left. His posture was as steady as the mountains, and his gaze seemed to hold the weight of eternity. "You have returned," he said, his voice soft yet commanding, like a river carving its path through stone. "Yes," I replied, my words echoing within the vastness of the moment. "I feel as though there are more questions and fewer answers with each passing day." He nodded, a faint smile playing on his lips, as though he understood the paradox that haunted me. "Questions arise not to torment but to guide," he said, his words wrapping around me like a warm embrace. "They are doors. Their answers are paths, but not destinations." The silence between us grew, rich with meaning, inviting me to reflect on the labyrinth of my thoughts. How does one walk a path without knowing where it leads? I asked, my voice trembling under the weight of uncertainty. He pointed to the nearby stream, its water clear and unyielding as it flowed over the stones. "Does the stream question its journey or trust in the pull of gravity?" he asked, his eyes alight with gentle inquiry. "The stream follows not with doubt but with surrender, knowing its purpose lies in the journey itself." His words lingered, their truth resonating as if they had always belonged to me. I knelt beside the stream, dipping my hands into its cool embrace, feeling the currents weave stories against my skin. "But what if the path is fraught with suffering?" I asked, looking up at him, searching for solace in his ancient gaze. He rested his hands on his knees, as though grounding himself in the truth of his teachings. "Life is both shadow and light. Suffering teaches the wisdom no joy can ever bestow," he said, his voice unwavering. "Without suffering, how could one truly know compassion or discover the resilience buried within the soul?" He gestured to the forest around us, where sunlight pierced through gaps in the foliage. "Even amidst the darkest thickets, there exists light. It is found not in sight but in faith." His words carried a weight that seemed to settle in the chambers of my heart. "Faith in what?" I asked, the question blooming from a place of doubt and longing. "Faith in the truth that every shadow holds the potential for light, and every sorrow the seed of joy," he replied. His presence seemed to transform the air around him, imbuing it with an energy that nourished my soul. "But how does one find strength when it seems all is lost?" I questioned, my voice bearing the scars of past struggles. He rose, his movements fluid and deliberate, and approached a fallen branch lying near his feet. "Lift this," he instructed, his tone gentle yet firm, as though testing not my strength but my willingness. I bent down, gripping the branch, feeling the coarse texture of its bark against my palms. It was heavier than it appeared, and my arms trembled under its weight as I struggled to lift it. "Why does it feel so heavy?" I asked, my breath labored, as the branch remained rooted in its place. "Because you see only the weight and not the purpose," he answered, his words cutting through the fog of my struggle. "Purpose transforms burden into strength. When one sees beyond the weight, one discovers the power within." He gestured for me to let go, and as I did, the branch fell back to the earth, lighter than before. Each burden carries a lesson, And each lesson reveals the strength we often doubt exists, he said. His gaze steady, I sat down on the ground, my mind churning with the depth of his teachings, seeking clarity amidst the whirlwind of thoughts. How do I learn to see the purpose in each burden? I asked, my voice tinged with a vulnerability I could not conceal. He returned to his place beneath the oak, his presence calming the storm within me. Begin with silence, he said, his tone as soothing as the stream's melody. In silence, purpose speaks without the need for words. His answer felt paradoxical, yet it resonated, pulling me toward the space where understanding dwells beyond reason. But silence is unsettling, I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. Only because you resist it, he replied, his eyes closing as though embracing the very silence I feared. Silence is not the absence of sound but the presence of truth unfiltered. His words brought forth memories of moments when silence felt suffocating. Moments when I sought distraction to avoid its embrace. Do not fill the void with noise. Let the void reveal its wisdom, he continued, his presence grounding me. The stream does not fear its stillness, for stillness holds the secrets of movement. The forest seemed to echo his sentiments, the rustling leaves and distant bird calls harmonizing with his teachings. I closed my eyes, allowing the silence to seep into my being, feeling it weave through the labyrinth of my thoughts. The stillness felt alive, brimming with truths that words could not capture, truths that resonated beyond the realm of the mind. The path is not for the feet but for the soul, he said. Breaking the silence with a final teaching, I opened my eyes to find him gazing at me, his expression holding a depth that words could never convey. Have you found your question? He asked, his voice filled with curiosity rather than expectation. Not a question, I replied, but a glimpse of the path, and the courage to walk it. He smiled, a gesture that felt like a benediction, and rose with the grace of a river's flow. The forest will always welcome you, for it is here that silence speaks and purpose reveals itself, he said. As he disappeared into the trees, his presence remained, etched into the very fabric of my being. I sat by the stream, letting the moment wash over me, the lessons sinking into the depths of my soul. The forest whispered its secrets, the stream sang its truths, and I listened, unburdened by the weight of questions. Another day, another journey, and yet, the journey felt infinite, a path unfolding toward the horizon of understanding. Another day, another morning shrouded in mist, the forest unfolding its mysteries as I ventured into its eternal embrace. The air hung heavy with the scent of earth, mingling with the fragrance of dew-kissed flowers scattered along the path. The sound of distant water accompanied my steps, guiding me toward an unknown destination. In a secluded grove, the Buddha waited, his form radiant yet unassuming, blending seamlessly with the timeless surroundings. His presence felt magnetic, drawing my restless thoughts into the calm of the moment as he acknowledged my arrival with a nod. Welcome back, he said, his voice imbued with a serenity that silenced the chatter of my mind. I sat before him, the earth beneath me grounding the questions I carried like burdens upon my shoulders. What brings you today? He asked, his tone gentle yet probing, as though inviting me to unveil the truth within. I feel lost, I admitted, the weight of my confession sinking into the space between us. Lostness is the gateway to discovery, he replied, his words illuminating a path hidden within the shadow of doubt. One must first lose the self to find the truth that lies beyond its grasp. His gaze shifted to the grove's canopy, where sunlight filtered through leaves like blessings descending from the heavens. How does one lose the self without losing the essence of being? I asked, my voice trembling under the enormity of the question. He reached for a nearby leaf, its vibrant green trembling in the gentle breeze, and held it delicately. This leaf exists not for itself but for the tree it nourishes, he said. His tone rich with metaphor. To lose the self is not to vanish but to surrender. Becoming part of the greater harmony of existence. He placed the leaf on the ground. Its journey complete yet fulfilling a purpose far beyond its singularity. But surrender feels like defeat, I countered, struggling to reconcile his wisdom with the turmoil within my heart. Surrender is not defeat but liberation, he said, his eyes meeting mine, their depth revealing truths beyond spoken words. To resist the flow is to confine oneself within the walls of ego. To surrender is to expand beyond. His teachings stirred something within me, as though unlocking doors to rooms I had never dared to enter. What if the expansion overwhelms? I asked, the vulnerability in my voice mirroring the vulnerability of my soul. He gestured to the forest, its vastness a reflection of the infinite possibilities of existence. Overwhelm is but a passing storm. Beneath it lies the unshaken ground where peace resides eternally. His presence radiated a calmness that seemed to envelop the grove, transforming it into a sanctuary for contemplation. How does one find the unshaken ground amidst chaos? I inquired, seeking guidance through the labyrinth of uncertainty. He pointed to a nearby pond, its surface rippling gently in response to the breeze. Observe the water, he said, his tone inviting rather than commanding, as though teaching through experience rather than instruction. I approached the pond, noticing the interplay between its movement and stillness, its depths hidden yet present. The surface reflects the chaos, but the depth remains undisturbed, he said, his words resonating like a mantra. To find the unshaken ground, one must look beyond the surface to the depth where truth resides untouched. His teachings felt like a mirror, reflecting the essence of my struggles while revealing the clarity hidden within them. But how does one navigate the surface without drowning in its turmoil? I asked, yearning for a lifeline amidst the storm. He stood, his movements deliberate and harmonious, and approached a fallen feather lying on the grass. Lift the feather, he instructed, his tone bearing the weight of an unspoken lesson. I picked it up, marveling at its lightness, its simplicity defying the complexity of existence. Let the feather teach you, he said, his eyes shining with the wisdom of countless lifetimes. Its weightless nature carries the burden of its purpose without resistance. His words transformed the feather into a symbol, its presence teaching me more than my questions ever could. Resistance amplifies weight, surrender lightens even the heaviest burdens, he continued, his teachings unfolding like petals. As I released the feather, it danced upon the breeze, embodying the freedom born of surrender. Freedom is not escape but alignment with the truth that flows through all existence, he said, his voice harmonizing with the wind. How does one align with truth amidst the illusions of the world? I questioned, feeling the weight of his wisdom pressing against my limitations. He returned to his seat, his posture as steady as the mountains, his expression holding the stillness of eternity. Truth does not reside outside but within. It is unveiled in moments of silence when illusions dissolve into clarity. His teachings resonated, like echoes in the cavern of my soul, revealing paths I had never explored. What if one fears the silence? I asked, the question blooming from a place of vulnerability I could not conceal. Fear arises from the ego's resistance to change. Silence dismantles the ego, freeing the soul to embrace its true nature. His words carried the power of transformation, their truth reverberating through the chambers of my heart. I closed my eyes, allowing the silence to envelop me, feeling it weave through the labyrinth of my thoughts. The stillness held a vibrancy I had never recognized, its presence guiding me toward an understanding beyond the realm of reason. The soul's journey is not measured by steps but by the depth of its surrender, he said. Breaking the silence, I opened my eyes to find him gazing at me, his expression holding a depth that defied comprehension. "Have you found what you were seeking?" he asked, his voice filled with curiosity rather than expectation. "Not answers," I replied, "but an awareness that transcends the need for questions." He smiled, his gaze radiating an acceptance that felt both otherworldly and profoundly familiar. "Your journey is both individual and universal, a path unfolding within the tapestry of existence," he said. As he rose, his movements carried the grace of a river's flow, his presence lingering in the air around me. "The grove will always welcome you, for it is here that silence speaks and truth reveals itself," he said. As he disappeared into the forest, his teachings remained etched into the fabric of my being, guiding me forward. I sat by the pond, the feather resting beside me, as the forest embraced me in its eternal wisdom. Another day, another journey, yet the journey felt infinite, a path unfolding toward horizons unseen and truths unspoken. The forest whispered its secrets, the pond reflected its truths, and I listened, unburdened by the weight of questions. The silence carried me, revealing the unshaken ground where peace resides eternally. You are your own eternal companion. In every moment, you walk with the essence of your being. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.